All right, in this video, we're going to talk about how you can avoid the 10K per month plateau in your clothing brand. And this is one of those things that I see a lot of brands go through, especially if this is like the person's first time running a brand. Even if you haven't gone to 10K per month, this is one of those videos that you want to watch, because when you get there, when you work hard enough and when you do the right things to get to 10K per month, doing the things that get you past that are slightly different. And this is 10K per month. This isn't someone who makes 10K in a drop and then in between drops, they're not making any money. This is literally the plateau that happens when a brand is consistently making around 10K per month and they can't get past that point. If you don't do what's in this video, you have to make the switch to doing the stuff that's in this video. And so I'm going to show you exactly how that looks and how we got over the 10K per month plateau. And so, yeah, that's that. If you haven't yet, subscribe for more. I basically go over all the things that have gotten us to millions of dollars per year in revenue, gotten us our silver Shopify bag, and even landed us on the Inc. 5000 list for 2025. So hit the subscribe button and we'll get into the training right now. Now, basically what's keeping you stuck at 10K per month is essentially this pretty much everything that's being talked about for clothing brands right now at the moment by all of those like brand scalers, right? That's the kind of stuff that keeps you small. All the normal shit that you hear on the internet. Now, what that does to you is, number one, it keeps you a normie. And what I mean by normie is like a person who doesn't actually start a clothing brand to have a clothing brand, a successful one, and actually make a name in the space. They're just trying to like run up a quick bag on some internet money shit. And it's like, there's so many other vehicles for you to do that. Clothing is just not that at all. If it was at one point, it is not that anymore. You have to be a creative person and you have to want to be in a creative space, because clothing is an art form. And so you can make some sort of money just by like doing the basics that would honestly work with like any type of shit, like drop shipping or anything like that. But if you're going to actually build like a legacy brand and not be considered like a normie trying to get into fashion, you have to look at it a different way, essentially. You have to also look at number two, like, are your designs mid? Are they actually like mid? Can someone go to the next brand to the right of you and just buy the same kind of shit? You notice a lot of these things here, a lot of these pieces that are in the like examples that I put here, you can kind of just interchange them with any other shit, any other thing, right? And so that's what I mean. Like, are your designs mid? Number three, you have a niche problem, right? That's what's keeping you stuck at under 10K per month, is a niche problem. Whether it's that you're a try hard, if you're in the skate niche, for example, and you're saying like, I'm a skate brand, and everything you do ever down to like the designs on the t-shirt with like skateboards on it and shit, you're like trying so hard to fit into that niche that you just come off as like the try hard at the party. Or you're trying to speak to everyone, which is kind of an example of like these three brands here, is that they just don't have a fucking niche. They just kind of exist out there to like post that they have a clothing brand and that they're cool, right? Because for some reason there's a stigma about like having a clothing brand is like a cool thing to do, which it is cool. Like if you do it right, you're dope as fuck. But if you're doing it for this reason, like if you have a clothing brand for the sake of being able to tell people that you have a clothing brand, then that's actually lame. And you're not speaking to anybody. You're literally like, none of this is speaking to anyone. Your bio might say, my clothing brand is for hustlers out there, or some shit like that, right? That doesn't mean anything. That's not like a consumer profile. That's just you saying some shit and hoping it sticks. So that's number three. Number four, you're inconsistent. There's a likelihood that you're inconsistent, right? That with posting, with coming out with drops, with branding, with any of that stuff, you're just inconsistent. You don't know how to remain consistent at putting things out into the world. And you have to put things out consistently, whether it's content or clothing or whatever. You have to do it consistently. And then number five, you follow all those brand scalers out there. Your main defining factor on if someone has good advice for you is based on if they can rent a Lamborghini or they can max out some sort of like long-term loan to buy a Porsche or something like that, right? Don't get me wrong. There's some people out there that are really rich off of clothing, but most of the brand scalers are not rich off of clothing. If they have any sort of money, most of the time they're making that money by collecting retainers from other brand owners, and they're making most of their money doing that. You see what I'm saying? So like a lot of these brand scalers actually don't know how to scale a brand actually. They actually don't know how to actually scale a brand. They got their brand to some amount that's slightly higher than the normal person, and then they spent all of their time collecting retainers, money, the like monthly subscriptions off of people who want them to run their Facebook ads now. And so 10K per month plateau is really just the naivete of being like a first time brand owner. And these 5 things are usually the things that keep you behind. Number 1, you're a normie. This isn't actually for you yet. And you just have to make a shift into the fact that you want to own a brand versus trying to make a bag off of a niche of products on the internet. 2, your designs are mid, which is okay. You can hire a designer or you can get better at designing. That's fine. It's just that you need to know that's your problem, right? And you're going to have a combination of any of these. It might not be all 5, but you might have a combination of like 2 or 3 of them, right? Number 3, you have a niche problem, right? Number 4, you're inconsistent. Number 5, you're just following the wrong people. You're just listening to the wrong people, right? So I'm going to break down how to fix these things. I'm going to break down what it means to get past the 10K per month plateau. And even if you're not at 10K, this stuff is going to get you to that and beyond. And so, let me break that down. But before I do that, if you want to work one-on-one with me, I actually have a 30-day mentorship program that you can find in the link that's in the description. So if you want to work with me to actually break this stuff down and figure this stuff out for your brand and how you can turn it around, go ahead and click that link and join the 30-day mentorship program that I have, because I literally break this down for brands on a regular basis and help them overcome these plateaus or even just get to that place of 10K per month. Some people might look at the 10K per month plateau and be like, that's a good place to be. You could almost quit your job on that. You could just about quit your 9-to-5 job on that if you really play it right and you still like live under your means. So yeah, do that. Click the link in my description to grab that, and we'll get into the ways that you're going to push past the 10K per month plateau. Now, number 1, the thing that they're going to do is they're either going to be a good designer or they're going to hire good designers. They're not just going to like think that they know how to design clothing. They're going to have had designed clothing for a while or really love the fact that they would become a designer. Like that they have that as part of their identity, or they love clothing and they are okay with hiring designers and buying art pieces and buying tech packs from people who design clothing. This is not amateur hour. We're not in that shit anymore. That was like 2019 when people who are amateurs could go on the internet and just start selling clothing. That doesn't happen anymore. It's too easy to make good clothing these days. So you need to be a good designer or hire good designers, commission good designers, whatever you want to call it. Number 2, they focus on branding over marketing trends. You'll see that most of the TikTok brands out there are just following trends, whether it's in product or it's in marketing. And it's okay to capitalize on some cultural moments and things like that happen on the internet, but to make that the entire premise of your brand is never going to be a winning formula. You have to, like these brands did. I actually kept the names on these screenshots so you can go and search these brands up, because you'll be able to see each of these as a case study on how to remain brand forward, but still build a world around it. Specifically, Shinzo, when I was doing my research, they are content creators first. This brand is very good. And so they focus on branding over the marketing trends. And of course, they'll capitalize on some marketing trends, but overall, you see their main feed is just like bangers on storytelling and world building around their brand. And that's actually something I go over a lot in my content and in my boot camp. I go over like exactly how to turn your brand into a cult following through storytelling and through branding and all of that stuff. Number 3, they focus on talking to a specific person and embedding themselves in their customer's world. And that's what I mean. With this brand specifically, it really seems like they are going after an ideal customer profile, and that's who you need to speak to. This one here too, Vescartes, I think that's how you pronounce it. They seem to be centered around soccer mainly, and just people who enjoy soccer. They're not a soccer brand, but they draw on that part of the culture, people who like soccer and what they wear. See, they're not like a try hard trying to be in soccer. They make clothing for the person who likes to consume soccer, and they use that to build part of their world. And this brand in the middle is pretty decent at that too. They're mainly just a surrealism brand, and that's something that is a little bit harder to pull off, but they seem to be doing well at it. 4, they are consistent even if it is less than desirable. And what I mean by that is they're putting out content consistently, even if it's not like a reel every single day. You see what I'm saying? They build systems and they build their business around being able to be consistent versus big, like spurts of a lot of volume of content and a lot of volume of design. They're just consistently always putting things out, whether it's once a week. It would be ideal to do more than once a week, but even if it's just one good piece of content a week and one solid drop every month or 6 weeks or something like that with like 1 or 2 or 3 pieces, consistency really, really takes the cake when it comes to this type of thing. You're not a big designer fashion house where they have the luxury of just putting something out every season. You really need to like have the consistency. And then 5, they find people who are actually successful to get advice from. Now, this is a big thing. You'll see behind a lot of these brands that are really, really killing it. They've either partnered with people who are more experienced than them, or they have access to someone who is more experienced than them. And that's really important because when I was coming up, I had experience and access that a lot of other people that were coming up in our niche did not have. And same with my partners. Like they had access to people that a lot of people didn't have access to. And we were able to pick their brain and find things and learn from them and follow what they did. And it propelled our brand much faster. And that's very important when it comes to getting past that 10K per month, is the momentum that you keep. And so when you have someone who can show you where your issues are, you can keep that momentum going. And so you don't get into these like ruts where you don't know what the fuck is going on. And so that's pretty much how you get past that 10K per month. And it really is one of those plateaus because of that learning curve. And so that's actually why I created the 30-day mentorship program. And I made it as cheap as possible so that I can help as many people as possible do that. So you can join the 30-day mentorship program. The price goes up frequently. Too many people join. I use price as kind of like a way to filter out the wrong people. And so the price will go up over time. Go ahead and click the link that's in my description. You'll be able to get that. But other than that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and do all the things that help out a small channel like myself. And I'll see you in other videos.